So in my previous video, the one right before this, I was talking about how the primary impediment to actually solving problems isn't finding a good idea or the political will or anything like that. It's specifically that most people are incomparably stupid and they think there's only two options and they insist that smart people obey their dumb advice and they refuse to listen to anything else. They don't want to help with an idea that they don't understand, but they're stupid. So they only understand the stupid ideas. They constantly promote stupid ideas because they're able to understand stupid ideas. And when someone has a smart idea, they refuse to listen, they gossip, they dismiss it. That's the biggest impediment. The second biggest impediment, that's what this video is about. The second biggest barrier to actually solving problems is that the majority of people who claim to care about an issue don't. They want social points. We are upset when corporations do this, when they greenwash or rainbow wash, but that's most people too. Most people want to claim credit for being some superhero when they do the bare minimum or give lip service. And they make no effort to find real solutions. They just want to use that as a justification to be a dictator. This happens over and over again. I am a staunch radical environmentalist. I am very concerned about all the horrible things happening to the environment. And then I'll talk to people who claim to be environmentalists because they recycle and they went to a community garden. And I say, hey, here's a way to actually address drought and desertification around the world. And they don't want to listen because they say they're too busy getting drunk every weekend. They have to go on a vacation so that they can enjoy one of the last beautiful places on earth. They're posers. Same thing with talking about radical changes to policy and ways to address the surveillance state. Going back to frickin' early 2010s, we're talking like 2011, 12, 13, 14. I was going to Trayvon Martin protests. I've been to all the No Kings protests, and I keep trying to tell these people at the protests, because they say they're concerned about these issues, hey, here's Granny State Robocop. Here's an essay that describes in detail how we can address the surveillance state and reduce police brutality and make sure people aren't wrongfully arrested. Here's a way that the neighborhood can become the sole guardian of the data that you're so concerned the government's going to be looking at. They don't want to listen because they're too busy going to hang out and get stoned and drunk at the after party. They're too busy having fun. But they'll sure spend hours walking around with a billboard claiming to care. That's who I meet most of the time. All those fancy fun conferences where they want to make things really entertaining to bring people in. And then I try to talk to the people there and they say, I don't have time to listen to ideas or work because I'm here to have fun. I was at a symposium, supposedly, where they're going to talk about new alternative policy options to make our democracy function. You know, getting beyond just like campaign finance reform. And so they had a number of people giving talks with a big screen and a clicker. And at those talks, where there's in this building and the surrounding venue, there's more than 100 people. In the symposium talk, there were some talks where it only had 8 to 10 people out of the whole membership of people who showed up. What were the other people doing? Dance party. They showed up to dance. So there's a lot of people who greenwash and rainbow wash and all the others. There are so many people you can watch online who claim to be feminist, and then the only issues they discuss are how men aren't giving them enough stuff and not opening the door for them. And men need to step in their masculine energy. But when it comes to talking about the 4/5 plus of the female population on Earth who's suffering under dictatorships and oppressive structures in other countries, they don't want to do anything. They don't want to lift a finger. That's the second biggest problem, is that it's a giant honeypot that sucks all the attention, all the media attention, and all the dollars. All the dollars and attention gets drawn toward groups of people who don't actually want to think, and they don't actually want to work. They only show up when it's fun, and they got lots of other fun on their schedule that means they don't have time to learn facts or do solutions. They want to do the bare minimum to get a pat on the back in their social circle. That's the second biggest impediment.